For decades, America told young people something very simple: get good grades, go to college, study hard, get a degree, get a job in an office, work hard, build a stable life. That was the path. That was the American dream. And now that millions of people have followed that formula, AI has now rewritten the entire formula. Talk about having the rug pulled out from under your feet, right? If the newest economic data is correct, one of the biggest surprises of the AI era may be this. Some of the jobs society pushed young people toward the hardest may now be among the most vulnerable. While many white collar industries begin slowing hiring for entry level office work, companies tied to physical infrastructure, construction, fiber networks, electrical systems, AI data centers, they're desperately searching for skilled workers. They can't find enough skilled people. And honestly, this may become one of the most important economic and psychological shifts of the next decade, at least. Because this story isn't just about technology, it's about identity, it's about status, it's about what kinds of work society now values, and it's about whether the old promises still work. CNBC just published a fascinating report showing that recent college graduates are facing a noticeable slowdown in hiring in AI exposed industries like consulting, finance, marketing, accounting, professional services. Research cited in the report found that hiring for workers between ages 22 and 24 dropped sharply in industries that are most exposed to AI after ChatGPT launched in late 2022. And while layoffs may not have exploded broadly yet, the data suggests that companies may simply be hiring fewer young white-collar workers in the first place. And that's important because for decades, college graduates entered the workforce through entry-level jobs. They were junior analysts, assistants, associates, coordinators, consultants, trainees, but many of these exact same tasks are now the kinds of things that AI systems are increasingly able to assist with, if not do completely on their own. They can summarize, research, write, analyze, organize, code, draft, create graphics. Meanwhile, something unexpected is happening elsewhere in the economy. Companies building the infrastructure behind the AI boom. They're struggling to find enough workers, and especially qualified workers. They can't do shoddy work. They can't put somebody out there who's unskilled. I mean, what they do, their name is on it. Their signature is on it. So they can't just send any knucklehead from across the street out to do a job. They need skilled people. AT&T says it plans to hire thousands of technicians. Construction companies are warning about massive shortages of electricians and skilled tradespeople, carpenters. Data centers are being built across the country. Fiber networks are expanding. And many of these jobs don't even require a 4-year degree. That's a remarkable reversal from the story that society has been telling people for generations, that you need the piece of paper, you need the 4-year degree, at least the 2-year, at the very, very least. And now it seems like that might not be true at all. because for a long time, America culturally treated blue collar work as something people were supposed to move beyond. Oh, you're better than that. Oh, you should work in an office somewhere, some high rise building. That's, that's for you, or, or not. Or, gee, Bill, your grades are kind of lacking. Instead of university, why don't you just find your way straight to a trade school? Go learn a trade. Go spend 6 months or a year or 2 years learning a trade, become proficient at that, and head out and make some money, straight to making money as quickly as possible. Office jobs have become associated with prestige, success, intelligence, upward mobility. Physical labor is often viewed as lower status. But see, AI is disrupting office work first. And that's creating a strange new reality for people. One of the most fascinating people in the CNB story that I read was a young AT&T technician named Kyson Cook. Kyson, Kyson, Kyson Cook. He dropped out of college. Maybe he saw it coming. He started working with AT&T. He bought a home. He started building a life. And he later returned to school with help from the company's tuition reimbursement program. So the company was like supporting his efforts to educate himself even more. And he said if he had stayed on the traditional white collar path the first time around, he'd probably still be in debt. He wouldn't own a home, and he'd likely be making less money than he is now. So he played it pretty well. It seems like, at least on paper right now, it seems like he played it pretty well. He said something pretty important. He said, quote, "I don't think robots can be climbing poles anytime soon." And see, that line says a lot. I don't think robots can be climbing poles anytime soon. Yeah, for right now, it's up on the utility poles. There's work up there. And he's right about that, because while AI can process information incredibly fast, the physical world still exists. Somebody still has to build, repair, install, maintain, wire, rewire, install a transformer, reinstall a transformer, lift, climb, connect, construct, all these things, and a lot more. Pour concrete, bend rebar, all kinds of things, frame things up. I mean, we need carpenters. We need skilled blue collar workers. I mean, we need everything from foundation to roof, everything. We need all that. We need people who can physically do things, So society may be rediscovering the value of practical physical competence in real time. Can you think on your feet? Can you work with your hands? Can you communicate with other people? See? And pull the camera back a little bit. Society is also going to need people who can meet in the office with staff in the morning with top management, and management is saying this is what we need done. So then they're called liaison engineers. Then the liaison engineer says, okay, the liaison engineer hears what management is saying. This is where we're at, and this is what we need done. A liaison engineer then goes from the company to the job site, work site, and communicates to people and says, look, this is where we're at. Here's the blueprints. This is what we need to be doing now. This is what management needs next. Here comes phase 2, whatever. See, communication. And a liaison engineer needs to be able to deal with the personalities in management and the personalities at the job site. See? So the liaison engineer has to be a special kind of a person who can deal, someone who can actually deal with all kinds of people from A to Z, up management and at the job site itself, on the factory floor. So, if you're younger, you're a college type, you're young, consider that too. Liaison engineer. Try to find a way to get yourself, because that job would pay also, it'd pay pretty well. Anyone who can speak with management, listen to what they're saying, get along with those people, and then go to the job site, go to the factory floor, and communicate the message. This is what's needed today, folks, and be able to deal with those people and personalities also. That's key. That's key. That's what I'm saying. So, to be fair, the CNBC report also points out that college degrees still matter overall. They're not saying that they don't at all. People with degrees still tend to earn more money over their lifetimes, and they experience lower unemployment overall. Not every white collar profession is suddenly disappearing. And that's important to state clearly. But something deeper may be shifting psychologically and emotionally. Young people are starting to realize that the safe path may no longer feel quite so safe. And that uncertainty affects more than just economics. It affects confidence, right? Identity, purpose, the timeline of adulthood, marriage, children, home ownership, family formation. One economist quoted in the report warned that younger workers could experience what's called economic scarring if early career opportunities continue shrinking. See, that's a heavy phrase, economic scarring, because it suggests that the effects may last for years. And that's not to say that, here's something that you can use as a crutch and play the victim over. I mean, you're young, and if you're smart, you will find work. Young, capable, halfway intelligent, halfway skilled, you'll find work. And then once you find work, you got to get busy and work. You can't play the victim and expect to succeed in this life. No, victimhood is for losers, and you're not a loser, and you don't want to be a loser. You don't want to be a victim. But that's what they're calling it, economic scarring. So young people may already be feeling this emotionally, right? Feeling uncertain, overeducated, overqualified, underprepared, anxious about the future, unsure which skills may actually matter now. And that's why this story feels so powerful. This isn't just about AI. It's about people. It's about society trying to figure out what human value looks like in an AI world. And maybe one of the biggest surprises of the next decade will be this. The jobs that people once looked down on, blue collar, may become some of the most stable, valuable, respected, and lucrative jobs in the entire economy. The jobs that people thought were safest, the office job and the corporate job and all that, may become the most exposed to automation. And this is a profound cultural shift. And whether people realize it or not, AI, it's already rewriting the American dream. Go to jackcarterbooks.com, check out what's offered there. I'll see you next time.